Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
This is not a news show.
And Matthew Ross.
And yes, that's me.
Where is everybody?
I don't know. Where that's okay. It's something about the weather. I don't know.
Can I just say I think it's kind of silly that it's been negative like nearly 20 for 2 weeks. And then some people get like 40-degree weather and like the entire infrastructure collapses.
Just to be clear, I don't think that's actually what happened in Texas.
I didn't say anything about Texas.
I know, but you know, it is the loudest story right now is Texas is frozen over in bad way, and people have been without power for how many days now? I don't know. Lots and lots and lots of people having issues with that, and it's quite simple. They're just not used to it, man.
Well, but I mean, I was like, that's
the
Minnesota story every year, but nobody ever talks about it. Because like you get big blizzards and the power poles go down, and you have entire cities, you know, that have no power, and they're like, no. Did you see the president's dog barked at the vice president's cat? How disgraceful!
Wow,
people are literally freezing to death. Nope.
Well, it's Minnesota. They're used to that, right? That's like people are. Well, you know, the story probably is, you know, people are dying of heat stroke down there, and it's like it's Texas. They're used to that. No big deal, you know. It's all fine. It's no big deal. That's why I live in the Pacific Northwest. Everything happens eventually, just very slowly. It's fine. We're used to it. Which is great. You guys can have your really cold winters always. Texas can have its hot and muggy summers.
I really don't want it. Texas can have it.
I'm not saying you personally, just people in Minnesota. You know, hurricanes, you guys can have that, and down in Florida, and Tornado Alley can have their tornadoes, and your nor'easters can happen in New England, and whatever. It's just whatever you guys are dealing with. That's fine.
I have always said, everywhere you could possibly live has some sort of natural disaster. You just have to pick the one that you're most okay with.
Volcanoes.
And roll with it.
I'm fine.
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, with the volcanoes, like for the last couple months, people were freaking out that this volcano's erupting in Hawaii. Is like those volcanoes have been erupting for millions of years. That's
the
how
islands
the islands were
formed.
Volcanoes.
It's fine. Trust me. It'll be fine.
But it's burning people's houses. Yeah, because they live
on a hotel
next to a volcano.
They live on a volcano. If that's what happens, it's fine. You just got to learn to live with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, maybe we should learn from our Hawaiian friends that you know, everything is not permanent, and you know, it might burn up and been pushed into the ocean.
Well, if you also remember back to the mid '90s when landslides were causing these beach houses in California to fall because of erosion. It's like, yeah, those cliffs have been eroding for literally millions of years. That's how they were formed. You built your house there, and 100 years ago, and didn't expect it to ever get to you.
Similarly, a similar thing happened up in Washington State, actually. It was just mudslides, though, because people were building their houses on the sides of hills, and then we had like 90 days straight of rain, and saturation happens, which, makes the ground kind of liquefy, and things fall.
But, this is...
gravity wins.
You want to know how long they have known about that? It's
Forever.
A parable in the Bible. Building your house on a rock as opposed to building it in the sand.
Yeah.
I mean, That's how many thousands of years ago, and people still haven't figured it out. So, yeah,
Gravity
what we
wins
have
again.
figured out. That there is stuff that we're actually supposed to talk about. So,
if you want to. So, big news, everybody! Big news!
Big
Even though
news, everybody!
Big news, everybody!
Is
YouTube
it the thing
TV
longer?
is what?
Is it the thing longer?
The thing longer. What's the thing longer?
We'll talk about the thing longer later.
I have no idea what the thing longer is.
It was something that he had big news, everybody, about.
Oh, big news, everybody. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. No, YouTube TV is adding a new premium feature. It was announced today that there was going to be a new feature which would be, you could have as an add-on package to your existing YouTube TV. And that new package would give you the option for 4K streaming and unlimited number of current streams on into your home.
As long as it's not 4K screaming. I do not want 4K screaming.
There's a YouTube video somewhere of that. You know that, right?
I'm not watching that.
Yeah, but I don't want it. There. I'm sure 8K.
There is a lot of things out there that exist out there that I don't want. Just add this to the list.
This is why you have to just decide not to look for those. But if you want, we can look for those if you really want to. Yeah. No, there is going to be a new feature which will allow you to add a premium to your YouTube TV subscription, which will allow you to have 4K streaming, offline viewing, and unlimited concurrent streams within your household. The question really is when and how much, and that is nothing that we get any information of from this announcement.
Yeah. I will say, people that are currently without power probably have plenty of concurrent screams in their house right now.
Well, I love 4K screaming. That's a great idea. Sorry for saying that. That's all I gotta say. No, is 4K a compelling thing for your television service?
If you have a 4K TV, then absolutely it's compelling. Yeah, if you're me. No.
Your locals are going to be available in 4K, very likely. That doesn't seem like too hard.
No, it's one of those things that if you have the hardware that's able to decode it, then absolutely, you definitely need it. It should be available. So to that, good on you, YouTube. You've been raising the prices without really giving anything new. Finally providing something, plus the offline viewing.
That's true. That's a killer feature. Big deal. And the unlimited streams, if you bump into that, that's a pretty killer feature too. I think, maybe that's what I need to think of, is everything is awesome about this announcement except for the 4K streaming, because to me, who thought they had 4K? And then now after reading this, realize, I didn't have 4K?
Well, and that's my thing, is I don't really see the point in me spending the money because I don't really notice it.
No, give me 720p and I'm happy.
Now 8K, I can see that difference, but 4K over the 1080.
All right, how much? So say you're a guy who's getting your television over YouTube TV, $65 a month, kind of a cable.
I can say that because I am a guy who's getting my TV.
How much would you be comfortable paying to get offline viewing, unlimited streams, and 4K if you wanted those features? How much do you think the price should be? What's the right price?
You're saying package or additional?
It's going to be an additional thing. This is going to be
I'm saying if they're asking like $5-10 additional, that's reasonable. If
that's
they're baking it
reasonable.
if they're baking it in, that's even better.
Of course, but no, according to the article, it's going to be an add-on.
Oh,
you're going to pay for it. Then the question I have is how much?
Yeah.
And $10, perfectly reasonable. $20, that's what I think they're going to come out with. More than that, it's a death sentence.
Let me put it this way. Netflix has been offering 4K for how many years? I would not have turned it on. But I had been paying for 4K Netflix for years, even though I couldn't use it. Mainly because that was the only way I could get 4 concurrent streams.
Right.
But when they raised their price to almost $20, I am now back on the only 2 streams HD package. Because I'm not paying $20 for Netflix. I watch like once in a while. And that's kind of the way. If I was the one paying for YouTube TV, if I was the one in my family paying for that, then I wouldn't be signing up for it. I have no need for downloading the stuff. I have enough trouble finding stuff to watch, let alone enough stuff to download to take with me. Right. But no, the fact that they're doing it, it's about time.
No, actually, I think I'm going to splinter off here for a little bit, and I want to talk about YouTube TV in general.
Okay.
YouTube TV, when it came out, was your competition was PS View.
Yep.
And
Sling.
Sling, yeah, and basically that was it. And since then, we've gotten Hulu Live, and DirecTV now, which turned into AT&T TV now, which has turned into AT&T TV. The mess is, the pain is real.
We also got Fubo.
Okay, so we got a lot of services that do this kind of thing. I am of the opinion that we are reaching a point where the live TV thing is going to start going away. Mm-hmm. Nobody, other than your local channels and sports, do you want to watch live? And local channels only because sometimes there's something like news that's local or an event that's local that you want to see.
Yeah.
Or a big enough event that the whole world wants to see live. And all those things, except for those local things, someplace. There's a streaming service for all that.
Well, you got to remember that these over-the-top services were a product of the time. Right. At the time, the people were screaming for, I need my live TV. And it wasn't actually the consumer screaming. It was the live TV providers screaming, you need your live TV, and they are taking it away from you.
Right.
So then you had people come in that said, oh, well, we'll provide it.
Right. So knowing Google, and they tend to, introduce a product and eventually drop it. How much you want to bet this is actually part of their plan? I'm doomsaying a Google product, which is kind of a unique thing for me. I think Google's going to take YouTube TV and eventually let it go one way or another within 10 years.
Oh,
maybe less.
I'm going to say they're going to Google Plus that thing pretty quick.
No, they still got too many subscribers. It's still much of a success right now. But I'm thinking next time we'll see something from Google like, hey, their alternative, they're the alternative to. I mean, maybe they don't even care about any of this because it's a low margin business anyways. Maybe this is just them. They were just trying to get things moving off of where we're there. Because that's one of the things Google loves doing. It's just like to poke an eye in the industry of saying, well, no, you can't. You have to do it the old way. And they're like, no, you don't. Here's the new way. And so they sell a $35 streaming service.
I think they're gonna end up acting like a pilot with a nervous breakdown and then just drive it straight into the ground.
You think it's just one day it's like, we're done, see you later?
I think they're gonna make a bunch of changes that are gonna force people to flee.
Okay.
You don't want to be the guy that was taking a nap when everybody else was putting on parachutes.
So just a curious question. Is that driving into the ground going to could it just be price being hiked? Or do you think there's going to be other things?
Okay. It could be. It could be a number of things.
I'm just asking, if your prediction were to come true, would you say, oh yeah, it got to $99 a month? So.
I think one of the big things will be price. They'll probably raise the price enough that you'll get enough people to leave, and then they'll be like, see, why are we even doing this? I mean, everybody's unsubscribing, so why are we even a service?
And Beam, I'd be perfectly fine with pay per minute of view if it was really, really tiny prices. That's fine with me. But I would hate to accidentally leave the TV on in that case, though. That would suck.
like the terabytes of data that was when that YouTube TV was playing nonstop in the guest room with the TV off for at least a month. Imagine that. Whew.
Oh yeah, but no. if it was I'm pay per minute for, hey, it's a 60-minute show, I know how much it's going to cost me, I'm fine with that. That's a great idea. I'm all for that.
I've waited 5 years for a English dub of certain shows. I can wait a couple months for a show to show up on streaming.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think this is just how Google operates. I think it's going to be the future. I think eventually Google is going to cancel YouTube TV. I don't think it's going to take, it will be, in my opinion, I think it'll be 10 years, because I think there will be enough alternative out there that Google will be like, it doesn't make sense anymore. And that they will move on and say, great, go do one of those other things. We've moved the industry. That's what we wanted to do. Great. Or they spin it off or something. But I think that in 10 years, so it's 2021, 2031, we'll check back in, I guess. See if I'm right. Maybe I could be wrong. Hey, next story. Alexa, play a song. Let's see. Let's play Nyan Cat. Hey, great. Alexa, share this song with Michael. That is now the thing you can do, everybody.
Okay. They already had this on the Google Home, but it was a bug. Remember when you could force people's Google Homes to play music? Like you could connect to it from like nearby directly, and then you could force it to do stuff. So my question is, if depending on the answer, I might have to set up my Alexa account. If I tell it to play on a contact's device, does it just start playing?
Excellent question.
Does it require them to give authorization?
I don't know. Here's the story. The story says that you can now call your Amazon Assistant device to take the current song and say, share this song with and a name of a contact, and it will send them that song to that contact. And it doesn't even need to be an Amazon Music song. You can be using one of the other services as well. So, Alexa bombing. What are we going to call this? Where you're just going to just killing somebody with a bunch of things being said to them, like the 9-hour Nyan Cat song. Just go ahead and send that to somebody.
I'm having flashbacks to in the late 80s. Who was it that got they were blasting his compound? Was it Mandela? They were some African dude or dude in Africa that like the CIA or whoever was blasting their compound with metal music nonstop. They also did the same thing at Waco, where they just set up speakers and blasted music for 24 hours at just nonstop to try and drive them crazy. That's what you're talking about doing with Nyan Cat.
Actually, well, no, the cool thing was that you can turn it off at your end. That's just I just can imagine all the people.
I wish it was like the Windows startup sound, where once it starts, you can't interrupt it.
No!
I think I told you a story about that. Well,
I don't remember.
Somebody write down Windows startup sound, and we'll bring it up in the post show. But yeah,
this is a cool idea of a feature. But this also reminds me back when I would get on my local network, my ISP. I would get my PC and actually put it on the internet. And then I would turn on the network browsing, and I would see people's printers, and then I would I would be a good person and send a print job to him that says, "Your printer is on the internet. Take it off the internet, please." I would actually do that to people.
I think I found the answer. It says, share this song with a contact, and they can not only choose to listen,
oh no,
but send a reaction. So, okay, I'm less interested in it now.
Still, that does mean you can send a notification to them for them to, which means you can bomb them with the. Yeah, but Matt would like you to listen to. Matt would like you to listen to. Oh,
but it's gonna tell you, Matt. Oh, I guess you could do it over and over and over.
But if you could bomb them with it, that's what I'm saying. You could spam their speaker with that, which could be annoying. And And these are the kind of things that
It's going to be the fourth wave of Rick Astley.
Oh God, I hope not. Anyways, is it a cool feature? Yeah, I suppose.
It could be.
I don't know. I mean,
MB Mask, can Alexa do broadcast like Google Assistant? And yes, they can.
They had a couple of those features better than Google for a while, and everything has since equalized. Like you couldn't send it to a specific room with Google for a while, but now you can.
I do like casting to Roku's because it just instantly goes. And I would troll my kids. They'd be like in another part of the house. I'd be doing stuff.
Rick Astley.
Like, Dad, something's wrong with the Roku. Keeps playing Baby Shark.
Oh no! I would send music to my son's room to wake him up. Pick, should we do opera today? Let's do opera today. All right.
Oh, you need to send him a 4K scream.
We'll have to find one first. But I thought we weren't going to look for those.
Does the Echo support 4K screaming?
It's a good question. All right. Waze. Waze is that app that you can use. A lot of people love to use as their mapping solution for their cars and for their phones while they're in their cars. Waze has a lot of integration with other apps built right into its app, and it looks like they've just added the ability for you to use Audible right into the player, meaning you can listen to your audiobooks while you are on the road using Waze.
They just took the feature I hate the most about Waze and made it worse.
Oh.
Because every time I open Waze, it's like, hey, would you like to listen to Spotify while we're... No, I'm doing something else. Or I'll when I open up Spotify, it's like, hey, would you like to navigate with Waze? No.
If it asks you once, that's fine. Just don't ask again.
Yeah, it's every single time.
That's like, good.
It's it drives that's the little stuff that just irritates me.
Obviously money has exchanged hands there.
Oh yeah. No, and I will say they have been very well integrated. I have used them together and it has been good. Most of the time I just default to the Google Maps because Android phone, I don't have to do anything. It's just there. Path of least resistance. I do like the speed trap alerting that Waze gives you, where it says people report stuff, and I like that.
But if your Google Map also picks those up now, I've had those.
I very rarely ever see it on there.
I see it all the time. Well, remember, Google owns Waze, and I think they literally take the Waze data and just kind of pass that into your Google Maps.
I was just saying I rarely ever get that that stuff here, and that may just be because of the user base, but I do see it when I'm on Waze. I do see it a lot more frequently, but it's okay. So I again, this goes back to my philosophy that I think everything should be available everywhere. So for that reason, great. I'm not interested. I'm not allowed to listen to Audible in the car.
You're not?
No, because I have a good imagination and my mind wanders. And
oh, no!
That's the last place you want your mind wandering. It's when you're driving down the freeway at like 90 miles an hour.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I learned that one the hard way. Oh, crap! Okay, no more.
Yep. All right. Hey, everybody! If you are here and you are listening to us from outside the United States, and you're probably hearing us saying these amazing things about shows on HBO Max, hey, guess what? You're going to be able to have access to HBO Max in June. Excuse me, not in Zoom. If you want, all you needed is a Zune player, and you can watch it right now. No, don't do that. There's
in one of those
the brown ones.
Yeah, Microsoft Zunes. I was thinking Zoom.
Oh
tool
yeah,
that we're using to talk right now.
yeah, that would totally work. All you have to do is turn it on and share your screen, and then they could totally watch HBO Max. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that. Do you?
Nope.
No.
Yep. So 39 Latin American and Caribbean territories. Is it saying 39 Latin American or 39 in total? Between
39 in total.
Or is there also 39 Latin American and 39 Caribbean territories? Are there 39 Caribbean territories?
I don't believe so, unless each little tiny island is a territory.
I don't like the way they wrote this article.
No, you could have read that way, I suppose. 39 Caribbean territories and Latin America.
And there should be a comma after American.
But, oh well. Anyways, it's just that's good. I mean, we need more people to have access to all this stuff. It should be everywhere. I don't understand why it's on the internet. I don't understand these artificial walls, anyways. But that's just me. This kind of stuff should be everywhere. If you can pay your money, you should be able to watch it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here's an interesting story. Apparently, there's a new company called Rezzil who's making a game called Player 21. It is a VR game that you play in order to play a virtual soccer match. Virtual, practicing on the field, a virtual play, kicking goals practice. Who here sees this and immediately thinks to yourself, somebody's going to get accidentally kicked in the balls?
Well, the whole point of the game is kicking balls.
Well, that's true, but not those kind. I mean,
no, I'm just thinking someone's going to kick their copy table and break a toe.
I know. So it looks like it's trying to be a really good, it's got a sensor that you literally tie to your shoe, so you get a really good action on you, whether your foot is.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, but I totally see this being a huge problem for
remember the carnage of the flat screen carnage when the Wii came out? Imagine that with feet. Because for those of you that are too young to remember when the Wii came out, there was a point where people didn't understand the wrist straps and they would throw their controllers at their brand new multi-$1,000 TVs.
Many TVs were knocked off and broken.
Yes. Many controllers were destroyed.
Those things are tough.
Yeah, but
they're tough.
So imagine that, but this time it's feet. So I don't know. I would say if you're gonna do this, make sure you are in a very spacious area.
Yeah. So here's the thought. That exact same idea. That little sensor you tie to your shoe. How many of those are going to slip out of the shoelaces that people have in there, or even just the shoe flies off?
Oh yeah, shoes are gonna fly.
Shoes gonna fly off that little sensor. If you scroll down a bit,
people
you can see
today
the
have a extreme aversion to tying shoes. Shoes are gonna fly off.
Yeah,
and I speak from experience because I tie my shoe once when I first get them, and then I slide them on and off until the shoes wear out, and then I throw them in the trash.
Yeah, we know you didn't mean to say it, but we know it's true. You do speak by example.
I do speak by example.
Now, I'm sure there are going to be lots of people out there excited about this. And
Crocs be flying indeed.
So also for those soccer fans, if you are a fan of the Belgium Pro League, I have no idea what that means, what those words together mean. It looks like ESPN Plus has gotten the rights to that league for you to watch for your football, and you will be able to watch it starting when is this starting? It looks like it's Saturday, so this is going to be starting up very soon for you guys.
I didn't know Belgium was known for anything other than chocolate and beer.
And pretzels.
No.
Aren't they,
pretzels, that's a Pennsylvania thing, like Philadelphia.
Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'm talking soft pretzels.
Oh, okay.
Those are the only
waffles. That's what I'm thinking. Waffles, not pretzels.
Oh, damn.
Yes, we're there.
Yeah, you're right. Waffles.
You're right. Man, I want to go to Belgium. They've got good food.
Oh, you were thinking of the Bavarian pretzel.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. That's not. No,
No,
that's
that's yeah. Don't
Definitely
let a
not.
German know that you thought that was Brussels.
Oh, come on.
Talk about 9. Call back to the chat earlier.
Yes, indeed.
39.
I don't know. It seems like there's going to be a lot of soccer people out there, and this is probably one of the big major leagues to watch it. So,
And if
hopefully...
if any of those soccer people are listening, they are currently screaming at you that it is football.
I did call it football.
I know.
I did once for you guys.
It's soccer.
But us Americans, we call it soccer. Get over it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Hey. Here's an interesting story. There's a lot of people who are using various platforms like Instagram or, other, live streaming like Facebook things. And especially, unfortunately, in situations where the cops get involved, they want to go ahead and, live stream or capture things that are going on. So people know what's going on. Here's an interesting thing that this story mentions that the cops are doing to combat that. They are taking their own personal phones and blaring some kind of highly copyrighted music, like, I don't know, the Beatles. And that in hopes that your video, whatever it is, gets a copyright violation and then is taken down. Now, I don't want to say anything about cops doing bad things, people doing bad things, but I do want to applaud the ingenuity of taking of taking advantage of this system. I think it's hilarious that that's what they're doing. But everything else is sad.
Here is how this is completely misguided, which is perfectly in line with people that make these policies. They don't understand how copyright takedowns happen.
That's
most platforms. You just get demonetized. You don't get any of the revenue. The video still is out there.
Right.
And it's still viewable. They want it to go away, but this ain't going to work. Even if, they keep doing it, it's not going to work in the way. Yes. On some platforms, it might get taken down, but then people will just stop streaming to those platforms and they'll make sure they're streaming to a platform that doesn't take down. Yeah.
I don't want to get into the politics of this.
No, not at all.
I do want to say, how can we take advantage of this concept and mess with our friends? Like, I don't know.
This seems like real life swatting. It's the SWAT. The cops are like messing with you as opposed to your friends like calling the cops.
Gotcha. I don't know. It seems like it could be. I don't know. Hey, so Google Stadia, it's dead, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been long dead.
It's toast. Google no phone.
They won at Cyberpunk 20 whatever, and then said, "That's it. We're going home. Shut everything down."
Yeah, no, they're totally they're done. They're not going to be doing anything with it anymore. They're not going to be working on any more things for Stadia at all. It's dead. It's dead in the water. That's what all the different news organizations said. Yeah. I mean, because they did shut down their internal studios, which there has been some stories about that, which is a little sad. But no, they're toast, because obviously that's not like they're going to come out with 100 games this year on the platform.
Okay, so
but wait a second. That's what the story says, is that they actually do have a plan for 100 new games coming out this year on the Stadia platform. So
what I was getting at is that this isn't news, because it was just a couple months ago that they announced that there are over 400 games coming. They just announced the first 100. And people are all surprised, like, oh wow, they just announced 100 games. No, they had already announced that there's literally 400 titles coming. They just aren't making any of them.
Nope,
because they don't need to. And shutting down their game service made complete sense. They found their niche. they found something that people, and they don't have to exert any real effort.
And it's expensive. And yeah, there's absolutely valid reasons why for them to do that. That being said, the other flip of this coin was the other side. I didn't actually post this story, but the Stadia guys they explained how that they were basically praised a week before they were all fired when they closed their internal studio. So they were given a week before they were given like kudos and great praise for all the hard work they've done and everything like that in an email. And then a week later, there were all unfortunately many of them lost their
that's
jobs.
pretty that's pretty standard fare. Look at anybody that's forced retired or gets like laid off, whether it be military or government or anywhere. You get this huge big award and a pat on the back, and then it's like, oh, by the way,
see you later.
We don't need it. We'll let you go out on a high note. Yeah, I mean, it's a business.
Yeah,
but
so the business,
sure.
So the business side of me completely understands. Somebody said, "Hey, look, you guys are doing great. You're going to be working on these big things," and then somebody looked at the numbers and said, "Yeah, it's financially makes more sense for us to let them go," and they did that, and that sucks. But at the same time, I totally see why that makes it's business wise. I see that's what makes sense. So,
and if I remember right, the guy that was in charge had already moved on. So,
maybe I can't remember whether or not he did.
I don't know what the timing is. Whether he had decided to move on before, or if it was just, whatever. But. That's okay. I don't think people were clamoring for Google-made games anyway.
No,
I mean,
but
it was totally a backup plan. If we can't get this games thing off the ground, we invested all this money in the platform. We may as well at least create games to make it work.
Right. But then it went off on its own. So.
Oh, I guess I don't need that. Okay, never mind. Call off the bees.
One other interesting story that happened this week was the guys who were making Terraria. Now, Terraria, here's what doesn't make sense to me. Terraria apparently got really upset because Google somehow just basically turned off all their access, turned off all their accounts. Google basically ghosted them for a couple weeks, and the guy who works on Terraria got upset and basically said, "Nope, we're done. We're not going to bring Terraria to Google Stadia." That whole situation sucks. But here's my question: Terraria is a game that runs on a potato chip. I mean, it'll run on any phone. It'll run on any PC that's not 10 years old. It's a really designed to be fairly low-end game you can play with very little need for any kind of heavy-duty, graphic processor. Why are we spending more time encoding and decoding, more processing power encoding and decoding the stream than it would take for you to play the game locally?
Yeah. My understanding of why Terraria isn't coming was because they were making the Stadia version at that game studio.
Nope, that's not what happened.
Okay, and that was my understanding. I don't care. They said it's like my band is never going to be on your platform, and that platform's like, oh, okay. We've got like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah. Okay.
No, my argument is simply Terraria is not the kind of game I want to play on onto Stadia anyways.
Okay.
I want to play those games that are absolutely ridiculous and play best on a really expensive machine. So expensive that I wouldn't necessarily buy it, but I wouldn't mind streaming the game.
Okay, let me just ask. You said this game will play on a potato chip. Why do you need a super expensive machine?
Exactly. You don't. That's the thing about Terraria. You can play it on pretty old stuff.
Well, no, I'm confused because okay, never mind. I'm
just a second.
We'll just move on.
Terraria system requirements: Windows XP, 2 gigahertz of CPU. Does it needs a video card with 128 megabytes of RAM and the ability of using shader model 2.0. Shader model is
Yeah.
not 3D, by the way. It's just the ability to add shading to textures. So it is a feature used by 3D all the time, yes, but that's not for the. It's not necessary to.
Oh, you want another hot take?
Sure.
You know, Google had 100 games released last year too.
That's possible too. Remember, like, we don't need you. We're gonna just shut down your accounts. Which
no, I'm
move.
going back to the big news. They're releasing over 100 games. Yeah, well, they did that last year. They're gonna do that every year as long as they can.
Yep.
So okay.
All right. Last story I have here tonight. So sorry, I bumped my mic. Last story I have is Roku has been testing a remote control, a brand new remote control, which has two big features, apparently. The things that everybody wanted, especially one named Clyde. The ability to customize those buttons on the bottom. We heard about that last week. Clyde really wanted that. And it comes with a rechargeable battery. I don't know if you want that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to poop all over this lazy article. Because number one, those customizable buttons have been on the remote since 2019. You know what I've customized them for? Absolutely nothing. No, I want the ability to turn the buttons off. Yeah, no. The only thing that is that about this story that is new is, yes, a rechargeable lithium-ion battery or whatever the heck it is. It could be cool. No, it's already in here. This is the enhanced voice remote that started shipping with the Ultra Plus back in 2019. So, and it's literally the same exact. If you look at the pictures, they just have these blacked out. It's literally the same remote. They just put a rechargeable battery in it. Depending on how this charges, if it has like a charging base, like my Logitech Harmony did, those are great. If I have to plug a cable into it, no. And the main reason I say that is because these remotes are really good. I put battery on the one that I use on a daily basis. I replace the batteries maybe once a year. It's 2 AA's less. But if you are using the headphone jack in the side,
yeah, there you go.
Then yes, the rechargeable battery is the way to go because you will suck down 2 batteries in like a couple hours. No, a couple hours if you're just doing audio, which is understandable because it's doing a lot more work. So it really depends on your use case. So whoever wrote this story, yeah, you clearly don't know what you're talking about because half the stuff that you're talking in here that's new has either been around since the beginning or has been around for a couple of years. But yes, rechargeable battery is interesting, potentially.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, also, I wonder if those 4 buttons that are blacked out are customizable as well.
No. If you look at any of the advertisements, they always black out the buttons.
Okay.
Because it could be different. Because when you get the remote, they kept changing. Like PS View went away, RDO went away, and then they would change them on the fly. And so in these advertisements, they'll black them out just because it will vary depending on your region. It'll vary depending on, what house Jupiter is in. Yeah.
Oh.
But no, wireless charging would be great, or
that's
or docking. But I doubt it. I think they're just gonna have like hopefully USB-C connection, which, that's a thing I have to do.
I'm okay if it's all the same cable. USB-C is fine. That would be fine with me. Just make it the same. Everybody stop using other cables, everybody.
This I could, I could potentially charge this with a USB cable. No, I bought the thing so I can dock it. And just set it in there, and not have to worry about it. So
Fair enough.
alrighty, well, that brings us to the point of the show where we get to stop trashing people that wrote stuff on the internet and start thanking people that gave us stuff on the internet.
Ooh.
Yes, we're talking about the patrons, the people that support us every month. And if you find some sort of value in what you're seeing, or you have seen in the past, because maybe tonight's not the best night, who knows? Head on over to head on over to patreon.com/the VOD Squad and throw us a bucket.
Whoa. What was that?
That was M-Beam cheering 1,000 bits. Holy crap, dude.
Dude, thanks.
Thank you. That scared the crap out of me. I've never heard that one.
I have to say, so you have a new bumper? Because that was awesome.
Hey, if you want to support us too, patreon.com. And anything will do. All right. Rants and raves. What you got?
So as far as television things, what I've been
television.
I know, but I mean, we try to keep up on that. Really, the only thing I've watched this week was WandaVision again. Again, really enjoying it. Totally want to see where this goes. Can't wait to go. Spending wasting my time playing Crush Them All again. A horrible game. Do not play on your phone. It sucks. Sucks your life away. Do not watch it. Do not watch. And I have been keeping up on my Ring Fit, but my complaint for Ring Fit is this. It started having me do planking. I hate planking. And also, my elbows hurt. Because planking on carpet hurts. So
that's why you get an exercise mat.
Yeah.
Go down to the Walmart.
No, we have one. I just didn't use it, and I regretted it very much so. My elbows.
You saying hurt. You don't like rug burns?
No, they hurt, man. I took a shower after that, and it burned.
I will say there are ways. There are enjoyable ways to get rug burns. Exercising is not one of them.
No, not that way. Other than that, I guess the only thing I've got to say is that we had a snowy season this last week, and it was our normal late February one that happens. It came, it went. Now we're back to the rainy season, although today and yesterday was a beautiful sunny day, and we were like in the 40s again. I mean, I love it. Apparently all of our bad weather went over there, so we're enjoying it, and now we're going to go back to being rainy for another month or so. So that's right. M-Beam, just you missed out because you were gone, but yeah, I am definitely exercising using Wii Fit, the Ring Fit, whatever it's called.
I thought he was pointing out that Matt exercises on an exercise mat.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't spell one with one T. So otherwise, I would have figured that out. But no, I've been doing it. I'm trying as best I can to keep it up, and I have to exercise 3 times a week with that, and I'm going to keep it up. Yeah, it's my goal. And right now planking is kicking my butt. Oh, sorry, M-Beam.
Make you walk the plank. All right. Well, I guess if we're gonna go to TV stuff, I do have a little bit of good news.
What?
I found out today that Final Space is actually coming back for season 3.
Final Space
was a really cool, edgy, space-themed cartoon.
Yeah.
I think it was Adult Swim or TV. It was on one of those shows. I don't know. I watched it streaming, so I don't know exactly where it's at. But it's I was surprised that we got season 2, and I didn't think there would be a season 3, and apparently it's dropping here in a couple weeks, And it's going to be also available on HBO Max. So the first 2 seasons will be streaming on HBO Max starting May 1st or May. Yeah, I think May 1st. I don't know the exact numbers, but they'll be coming out soon. So nobody has any excuse for not going back and watching the first couple of seasons. It's quirky, it's funny, it's actually got some, punch you in the feels drama. It's I liked it a lot.
I'm watching the trailer and it reminds me of, it's a little Rick and Morty.
It's
a little bit.
I would put it in probably a similar category, except this one is explicitly a space show.
Right.
So think like
Star Trek Lower Decks.
Maybe it predates that. So I would say Lower Decks may be a knockoff, a Star Trek based knockoff of Final Space.
Who knows?
But I mean, it really explores like destiny and whether or not you should step up to save the galaxy, and like all of reality. There's like
probably a good idea to do that. Maybe
it's like it's not really my thing,
Oh, okay.
Let somebody else deal with it. But I mean, don't you think Luke Skywalker would have lived a much happier life if he hadn't responded to some random hollow message that wasn't even for him?
He would have grown up and be an angry farmer kid.
Yeah, but he would have had both his hands.
True. Well, not necessarily. He could have had a moisturizer accident.
Yeah. He wouldn't have been living all alone, drinking some weird blue milk.
Yeah, he still did that. Wait a second. He did that.
Making evil Jedis.
He did that too.
And you got to remember, this is all based on secondhand knowledge that I gleaned from other people's conversations. So I don't know. I think I'm going in the right direction. But
oh man, that's a whole thought piece. How would the world of the universe of Star Wars, how would the universe of Star Wars, how would it have been different if Luke would have not have left Tatooine? That would be interesting.
See,
I would totally do that thought experiment.
I gave a similar thought experiment to my daughter when I showed her Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one. Everybody knows that one.
Well, I know, but that's where I figured I'd start her off. We watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I asked her, I said, what would have happened if Indiana Jones wasn't in this? And a lot of people would still be alive. I mean, most of them would have ended up dying in the end anyway, but they would have, there's a lot of people, a lot of things that were destroyed, and people that died that wouldn't have, because everything worked out,
I'm gonna have to go through this thought experiment and just think about that. I might go to expand on that. We'll see. For a future thing. We'll see.
All right,
should be fun.
Well, one other thing that we can expand on is thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We do this every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central here on Twitch. You should come join us live sometime if you're watching this after the fact. Yes, you can watch this after the fact on the YouTubes, on the podcasts. I guess you're not watching it on a podcast.
No, I watch
it with my ears.
No, I'm watching the numbers count as it's playing, obviously.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of numbers count, according to FeedBurner, there's 250 subscribers. So if you are one of those 250 subscribers and you are not actively following us on YouTube, please do. You don't have to ring the bell. We're not all hyped up about that. We're not monetizing those videos, so we don't care if you actually watch them. All we need is enough of those buttons clicked so that we can get our vanity URL. They are withholding our VOD Squad name. Whoa. So
I am getting an Amber Alert.
Ooh.
Silver.
While you're
Subaru
doing
Legacy.
that, also stick around. In the post show, we will be choosing some of the titles. Everybody head on over to tvs.showbot.tv. Someone will put that in the chat. Thank you. And go vote. And yeah, if you weren't aware, there is a post show. If you're not here, you don't get to participate. But that's okay. I mean, to each their own. I mean, there's podcasts that I'm subscribed to that I don't actually even listen to anymore. They just keep downloading.
I have like 2 of those.
Yeah. It's like, I'll let them download. And that's okay. No, the numbers are what matters. We would prefer to be able to interact and reach out and touch you in a special place, but not everybody's into that, so it's okay.
Hey, Clyde, this is a show for everybody, not for adults.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Do young adults not have souls? Do they not have hearts? Do they not have feelings?
It's fine. It's fine.
And on that note, I should probably shut this down before we dig a hole that's even deeper than the one that we already dug.
We can dig as many holes as we like after the show's over.
The nice thing about the podcast is I can cut all this out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Already got it?
And then we just end with this. Bye.
Bye.
You like that? You like that? Hey everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. No! Talk about streaming technology. No! You sat through take 1. Now we're in the post show.
Oh my god!
Here we go.
Oh,
Do you like that?
that's fine. Do you want a reel, or you're fine? You're just gonna cut it anyways.
I don't know. I'm not gonna cut anything.
Yeah. Okay. Are we officially in the post show yet, or no?
Oh, hold on. I got to do this for Wabbit real quick. Give him something to clip.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.